What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the garage. As you can probably tell, my voice sounds a little bit weird. That's because I'm sick with COVID right now, actually. But what better time to work on the Xterra, which has been leaking, which I think I mentioned in a previous video. But you can see we've got some sunshine outside and I'm home, so I might as well do some work on that thing. Yeah, like I mentioned before, I think in December there was a ton of water inside and I wasn't sure exactly how it was getting in, and I cleaned the sunroof, cleaned the vents and the drains, put the gasket back on, and I beefed up the door seals that were a little bit flat with some foam caulking, and I also took the cowl off and cleaned everything that was in there. So it slowed the leak down quite a bit. So I think the sunroof vents, the sunroof drains were causing a bit of a leak. But after getting all that done, I still had some moisture getting in and I wasn't exactly sure from where. But I have found it. Yesterday I did a little bit of digging around. But today I think I'm gonna just strip all the carpet out. It doesn't have any back seats, so that's already done, but I'm gonna take out the wood camper platform and take out the other seat again and take out the center console and all that, because it's all gross, and you'll kind of see why when I show you where it's leaking from. I just want to get a good look at everything, because potentially this thing might be a little bit more far gone than I thought, but it could make it a good candidate for a crawler. Kind of my goal for this thing is to make it sort of a crawler slash overlander. Not too, something that I can take camping, but it will do well on some more hardcore trails. Kind of what I like to do, or what I have liked to do in the past. Yeah, if you look back on my Instagram, you can see that I had a pretty built up Jeep. It wasn't built by me, and apparently the third owner now contacted me and said the whole thing is completely fucked, and he's like, I don't even know who built this, but this thing sucks. There was some really janky shit done to it. It wasn't me. I didn't know jack shit back then. Now I know a little bit more. I can probably put something together myself, which is what I'm going to plan to do with the Xterra, but we got to get it all cleaned up, and yeah, I'll stop rambling here so I can go show you what's going on with the Xterra and get all this shit out, because there is a bit of mold, and that's kind of why I'm doing this now. As you can see, I've got a bit of stuff out already. It's the cowl and fender liner. This is the steering wheel surround, and you can see just how much mold is on that, which is kind of gross. So that's kind of why I want to pull everything out, because it was wet. It has been moist inside, so I just want to eliminate all of that shit. So like I said, I got the driver's side seat out already. This thing needs to come out. I don't want to cut it because it's good wood, and wood's expensive these days, so I'm just going to go through and just remove all the pocket screws and try to take it out piece by piece. And then this is coming out, this is coming out. You can see the mold growing on here. Yeah, we'll get this done, and then I'll show you, once we get all this shit out, I'll show you where the leak is coming from, because it was a bit of a surprise to me, and most forum posts and people who have experienced leaks before did not know about this one. So all in all, not too bad to get this thing out. It's a bit windy today, so hopefully it's not picking up too bad on the microphone there. But you can see these spots of mold, which is why I want to get all this carpet out. There's like a little moldy thing there, and all this white in this area is mold. It's some kind of stain from something, but not too bad. I think it's just on the carpet here. The worst area, because it was leaking mainly from up there, is down in here. But yeah, with mold, I'm not even gonna bother trying to clean this. I'm just gonna get rid of all this carpet. So yeah, we'll move on to the next step here. Maybe I'll show you. So this is the underside of the platform here. See, it's pretty basic. First time doing any sort of woodworking, so pretty impressed with how sturdy this is, and it's just all pocket screws. So if you don't have a pocket screw jig, definitely pick one up, because it makes things like this really easy. That's how we built the drawers as well. Some bracing there. But yeah, this is all coming apart, and I don't really like to throw stuff away because I might use this for something else, so that's why I didn't cut it up. And these pocket screws are expensive, so definitely going to take all those out, and this hardware and the sliders there. So next up, we'll pull that driver's seat out, or passenger seat out, and that's easy, just some 14mm bolts, and we'll move on to the rest of the center console. So I'm not entirely sure how this thing comes off, but usually they're pretty simple. You can see there's one screw here, there's another on the other side. Good place to check is usually under these inserts. There might be screws, but there aren't any. This one, I think we're gonna have to pull this off, which is pretty simple. And then maybe this panel here to get maybe a hidden screw. I don't think we'll have to pull off the center stack here, but yeah, we'll just kind of wing it and see where we get to. Shouldn't be too hard. Alright, so hopefully it's not too windy here, but maybe you can see what the hell is going on. Sorry for that. Might have to pull off this center trim, which isn't difficult at all, it just pops off, because it seems like it's kind of hooked in together under here. So yeah, for the most part though, 6 screws, and this thing is pretty loose, but you can see this whole thing wiggles as one piece. So I believe it's kind of snapped in behind here with maybe a hook. Doesn't really seem to want to release, but we'll go ahead and pull this off, which is nothing at all, and see where that gets us. All right, yeah, so to get this thing off, we've already removed the 2 screws under here that were hidden under this, and to pull this up, you just tug up and put your transmission in neutral just so you can pull this back and sort of spin it around, and then you'll kind of see that there's 2 more screws just hidden under here, so remove those, and then this will just pull off. So you'll have a couple connectors here. I've got an extra one for the fog lights, but you'll just have to remove the lighter switch. And there's one more down here for the hazard lights. So, yeah, let's give this a try and see if it comes right out. Oh. All right, perfect. So you can kind of see here, hopefully it's not too bright, there's some little hooks in here that sort of attach into this, so you actually don't need to remove this screw down here. And sort of jimmy this around in here. And looks like we've got one connector right here. So now that we have the center console out, you can kind of see that this carpet is sort of 3 pieces. You got your front footwells, then under the seat, and then the back seat, and then the cargo area. You should be able to just pull this up. The only spot that it's kind of bolted down to is these seatbelt anchoring points, and I'm just going to cut just a relief in here and just pull them out on both sides there. But other than that, you should be able to just kind of tug it out from underneath the sills there. So yeah, just gonna do that, and then maybe I'll just pull out the back too, because it is pretty musty in here. And oh, I think, what's that? Oh, there's some mold right there growing on the fucking plastic. Yeah, I'm just gonna pull out the carpet that I can at this point, and chuck it in the bin. So just like that, 2/3 of the carpet is out. It's already smelling a lot better, but there is some surface mold down there. And one thing that I've forgotten when I originally took this carpet out to dry it is that you do have to pull up the trim here, and they just have these sort of neat little, they're not as bad as the usual plastic clips. They're a plastic screw, and you just unscrew it and then it pops out. And then I'll show you on the carpet. There's just these little plastic things that sort of clip over the edge of the metal door sill, I think, and then plastic that sits on there. So you do have to do that for the front and this little bit on the rear here. And then mine had a little bit of glue on here, but other than that, that's pretty much it. But one interesting thing that I found is I don't know if this vehicle was in an accident or somebody ended up smashing out some windows, but under the carpet here there's a bunch of broken glass. So I don't know if that was from that window or that window. Again, bought this thing used, no Carfax or blah 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 whatever, just a beater, so it doesn't really matter. But it's kind of interesting that yeah, the person we bought it from didn't mention that any windows or anything had been broken. But yeah, let's move on to removing that nasty carpet in the front, because that is definitely the worst of the carpet, which might be a little bit tricky. I might have to just kind of slice in the middle under the center console there, because it does kind of wraps around. So yeah, let's move on to that. We'll figure it out. So far so good. So looking around here to get this front section of carpet out, I think we'll have to pull this off. I previously said you don't have to remove this, but scrap that. You will have to remove that. And then there's 2 screws, one here, and then there's another one on the other side. And then this should pull off, and then we should have access to kind of the carpet around here, and we should be able to just slice it there and at the back side, hopefully pull it out without too much fuss. So let's do that. All right, that is all the carpet out. Which, yeah, it wasn't too bad. Alright, so we're almost at the point, the grand finale, where I can show you why I've gone through all this effort. But first, the last piece that holds any moisture is this rubber, I guess, I don't know, I think they use this to quiet down the engine noise or whatever, but it's got insulation behind it, and that gets soaked with water. You can see on the surface of this rubber that there is mold growing. Excuse me. So hopefully this isn't too hard to pull out. It's a little bit of a bitch on the other side there. But I've just removed the kick panel here, which is just one screw, and then there's a plastic clip, sort of clips right in there. And from what I can see, this should just come out. I've got one of these, oh, these are stupid, these plastic nuts here. There should be a stud behind there. Come on. All right. So yeah, that just sort of screws on, clips on there. So I'm gonna try to pull this out. Hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. Get this out. It looks like it's two pieces, so this piece comes out and then the driver's side comes out, but definitely want to get rid of this because this is obviously wet and growing mold. Alright, so got the majority of that rubber mat out. Unfortunately, it covers the entire firewall, so you can only sort of cut away as much as you can get to. I've kind of cut it away enough to where it hasn't been soaking up water, so that's kind of the best you can do without pulling the entire dash out, and I definitely don't want to do that to this vehicle because it's kind of a beater anyways. But the areas that have been soaking up water, those bits of insulation and whatnot have been cut out, so hopefully that is that'll do the job here. But now I guess on to the reason why I did all of this, and kind of an unexpected area for leaks to start, and they all came from this area here. So you can see that I've unbolted the parking brake, which is 3 nuts, and then to get to access the top one you have to loosen this sort of, I don't know what this is, control module or whatever. But I noticed that water was pooling up right here, and it wasn't wet over in this area. You know, when I first saw it, this whole area was covered in water, so I wasn't really sure where it was coming from. But let's see, hopefully you can see this. I'll shine a light in there. You can see all along this seam sealer, you can see where it's kind of brown there and peeled up. Water actually somehow gets in between the bonded panels there through the cowl and leaks down in through there. And the way that I tested it was like I said, I took the cowl off and put a hose down here with a little bit of water going, and it was draining out of the drain, which is that thing right here. Water comes out of there. But it was also dripping on the inside, and I don't know if that is actually this piece right here that's bonded. And you can see there's a plate right here that seems to be bolted on, so I don't know if I can take that off or what, but yeah, it definitely wasn't coming from the sunroof, and it definitely wasn't coming from the door seals. But rather it was leaking up or seeping through here. I can zoom in on it for you. Not the best here, but yeah, water was actually coming in through there. Actually, I took a video, so when I was testing this, so maybe I'll cut to that right now. But anyways, that is the problem spot, and yeah, so it's not anything that the usual forum posts suggest. So that's why I was kind of stumped with this one, and that's kind of why I want to share that. But that's pretty much it for this part. The next part, I'm gonna try to grind off that seam sealer and see exactly what's going on under that sealer there, see if I can seal that back up. And then for the rest of this, I'm gonna try to spray down some bed liner or something like that. Yeah, maybe let me know in the comments if you guys have done that, what you guys found was the best to use. Yeah, I definitely want to spray this down and get some of that tin can noise dampened a little bit. But see, you've got some more mold down there. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this video now. Made some good progress today, and next step is going to be trying to clean up those seams and see if it is salvageable. Hopefully it doesn't require any welding, because I don't have a welder, and if I did, it wouldn't be too big of a deal. But hopefully we can get away with just cleaning and putting some putting some rust paint on there, and putting some seam sealer back on there and sealing it all up. So hopefully that all goes to plan and it's not too big of a pain in the ass. And then once that's done, we'll coat the floor with, I don't know, Raptor liner or something like that. But yeah, anyways, that's it for today. Thanks for watching.